Welcome back to the Men's Roundtable Series podcast. I'm your host, Mr. U. The Warriors are in the house. We're here to talk a little bit of business, man. But before we get into all that stuff, we're going to finish our last part or last installment of our series on business versus busyness. We went in places I didn't know we'd ever go. You might hear about that through the course of this introduction, man. But we deep dived in this series, man. So I commend you guys. And you guys always do good work. But this time we went deep, man. You guys really got into the meat of what this topic's about with real world examples, and you guys are transparent. I'm gonna tell you, man, the reaction to it has been really, really good. But before we get into that, if you're watching us for the first time, thanks for making us part of your week. We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Of course, we have this show uploaded for audio platforms and audio listening sometime before the end of the night. But thanks again for making us part of your week. We're excited about being here and glad you guys are here with us. So, all right, you guys, man. First off, how you guys doing where you are? You guys good weather-wise? All's well with the family? How you guys doing?
I feel like that's a loaded question, you.
No, it's not. How you doing?
I feel like it's a setup, man. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Ain't no
man, everything is everything on this side, on the West Coast. Weather's starting to heat up a little bit. So I'm not liking that. But other than that, man, all is well on the home front.
I'm not liking that. All right, man.
Yeah, better than I deserve, brother. That's how I answer that question every time. Better than I deserve. That's it.
Copy that. All right, that'll work. That keep you safe. All right. BD, you good, man? Where you are, man? All's well?
Man, I could use some central air because my studio sucks. It's the hottest room in the entire facility.
Oh boy,
zero airflow. You guys aren't hearing my fan, are you? Do I need to turn it off?
Yeah, I can hear.
You want me to turn it off?
That's all right. No.
Don't turn it off.
Why harm yourself? Why harm yourself for our entertainment?
I don't want to see your red like melting.
No.
There's no need for you to do that, but it's totally fine. Glad you guys are good. All right, so for me, I love hearing testimonials about what you guys are hearing and seeing from the series, because every time we go into a series, we go deep, man. I think the series thing is working. Gives us a chance to flesh stuff out and kind of dig a little deeper than we would with one topic we're trying to get within an hour. So it's been working out a lot better to do it this way. Are you guys hearing anything you think is encouraging for the listeners that are with us today, man? What have you been hearing from the series? What have you been learning from the series yourself? Go ahead and share.
Man, I got a good friend who, if I can actually get him to tune. Are we there? We good now?
You can get who?
You said hold on.
Nah, I'm like, yeah, talk. Pause it too
No,
long.
I got a buddy, man. When I get him to actually tune in, because getting him to actually stop and listen to anything for an hour, it's like pulling teeth. But when I can get him actually to walk in and tune in, dude, he's like, last time I got him to tune in, he was like, dude, there was so much I needed to hear in that show. Like, holy crap.
Wow.
It's the positive reaction. If I can get him to like sit in and listen and actually tune into the show and be there, it's on fire, dude. He was like just blowing up how amazing just the conversation was to actually hear men talk that honestly and that truthfully about things. So it's going good.
Oh, I love that. I love hearing that. Who else?
Yeah, man, for the listeners out there, man, you know, I'm not on here every week, right? So I get the chance, the privilege.
That's on you.
To sit back and listen, right? And man, I don't know, I'm just blessed by it. I can tell you that I had a conversation with a woman today talking about this. And the reaction I got, like the look on her face about, wow, like there's actually men that want to help out other men and walk through these things together, right? I mean, almost to tears. And I'm like, wait, but you're not the demographic that's targeted for this, right? So I just think it's great because it tells me that by and large, it is a needed thing. And it's almost as if some people have been waiting for this, even people that aren't able to participate in some of the ways that we are, you know. Just a blessing, brother. Blessing.
No, I love that, man. You guys already know, man. The Queen is already the official member of the fan club, if you will. She catches every episode. I thought it was like, you know, had a side eye at first, but how you want to hear this? She legit loves you guys, and she thinks the world of all of y'all, and she thinks that you guys being transparent, it's a good thing for us. It's helpful and wholesome for us. So she just loves the fact that you guys come in and share and just so open to share in a safe space. So she loved that about this show, man. So I commend you for you won her over, man. That's not an easy task to win over the queen, man. So that's high praise, brother. So go ahead, Rory, jump in, man.
I was just going to say that I missed last week because of my son's birthday, but after about that, after that happened, I had somewhere between 10 and 12 of my students all message me going, "How come you weren't on the show?" And I'm like, wait a minute, which show? And they're like, the show, the roundtable show. And I'm like, seriously? I took a couple days off my podcast.
We were all thinking it. So I mean, but go ahead.
and they're all like, "Hey, are you not doing that anymore?" I'm like, "Oh my God, I missed a week. I'm here all the time. Nobody cares. Come on." But
that's not true.
No, I know. But in all honesty, I mean, they were like, "Hey, you weren't on the show," and that told me they were watching the show, because otherwise they wouldn't have known if I missed. So I mean, that was pretty impressive, man. It really was, to have that many of my students going, we're watching the show. So kudos to you. You?
No, I don't understand why they're not. Why aren't they in the comment section? That part I don't understand. Teach. Try to help them out with that. Why
it's never enough. Comment? It's never enough for this guy.
That's the next class. Commenting. That's the next class.
There you go.
The next class? You need a class for that?
That's gonna be like
teachers right here.
series.
Support your teachers. Yeah. What are you talking about? Support your teachers right here. Your
that's the next
right
4
here.
weeks.
4 weeks.
That's a whole new course, man.
Wow.
What are you talking about? We gotta monetize.
All the way across the board.
Fair.
That's right.
Okay. Let me tell you something, man. I've been hearing so much good things about this show. I'm so excited. All 4 of our shows are finally, I guess, legit, fully commissioned, whatever. So I'm excited about that. We finally got all the tech stuff worked out. So we out here. I got more interviews that I can handle for the most part. But I'm hearing so much good stuff about this show, man. Got a few folks reach out to me about the boundary. I don't know if it was a series or we just had a episode about boundaries. You guys might recall that one. It wasn't that long ago, but I've been hearing nonstop stuff about the boundary series. Like, talking about from people who are in media, content creators, people who are just random listeners, loving what you guys are sharing in the boundary series. So thank you for that. I had somebody jump in the comment section on YouTube. I thought I was being pranked for a minute. I'm like, I don't get long YouTube comments from women, generally speaking. This one was super long. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know this person. What's she talking about? I was skeptical from the beginning, but she got a husband that's in, I guess, in finance, I think it is. And I'm not sure what episode she was referencing, but I think it was the one about, men being honest about what they can't do, or and asking for help, as opposed to kind of just letting it ride and just trying to just fix it or do it when you don't know what you're doing. I forgot what the topic was about the convo, but I remember parts of it. But he was so hard on himself. I'm like, man, that's rough. He was so hard on himself. He's trying to fix something in the house that he's a finance guy. He has no idea what he was doing, but he wanted to be, that guy and try to fix it, and it just wasn't working out. He was trying and just beating himself up. They finally agreed, and she was so loving and kind based on her comment and supportive. Like, you know what? Talking him down off of the ledge before he jumped, and said, you know what? Let's get somebody to come inside here and fix this. She was just saying that, the show was such a blessing to her because it was good to hear men talking about stuff like this. I think the end of the story is he's still being hard on himself. I didn't hear a positive resolution to that from the comment, but people are watching the show and they're loving the transparency and us getting deep into these conversations, not only with our own personal stories and experiences, but just being open to hear that from other people too. So that was some awesome feedback I got this week. So you guys are a big part of that. Thanks for doing what you do, man. All right, let's get into it. This is part 5, I guess. The last part or installment in this year. Next week, the 5 love languages. Just kidding.
It's a 5-week series.
I'm sick.
Oh Oh, his camera's off. Come on, man.
We lost.
Get back in. You might lead it. You mess around, man. You be leading the whole thing. Put it on your network. Wow. But for me, do you guys have anything that you felt like was a new revelation for you from this series? Anything that you felt like it was like, I can work on this, or I feel good. I feel good about me. I've been doing this for a while. Anything that was a new insight, a revelation for you? Anything that you've been hearing, even from your spouses? I mean, anything like that? Just related to the series right here that we're in.
Like I told you last week, like I told you last week, I'm in the middle of this big pivot with my business. So this has just been like almost like having my hand held a little bit. Like it's keeping me on task as I make these. Okay. Well, it's keeping me more on task as I make this major change, right? Overhauling the way you do business and the primary focus of your business after 6 years of business is a big change. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of things you got to tend to. There's a lot of things you got to let go and push to the side. I just resumed my main show after 2 months of not making a single episode. Like I took a 2-month break from all my other shows and just put out an episode this week for the first time in 2 months after, my next episode's episode 400 on that show. But I put off that show for 2 months to make this pivot to get my house in order. So this has been a kind of a godsend because I've been like, okay, I need to focus on what's actually driving my business and bringing in the finances and what's actually business versus what I do because I love to do it and what's a hobby and stuff like that. So it's been helping hold me accountable in a big way.
Yeah. Something you said was so profound, man. I want to get you to expound a little bit and go as far as you can go with it. Because I'm seeing so many men that are in a place where, especially in the space that we're in as podcast hosts, most of us, and guests and everything, and we just kind of feel like, we got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't feel like we can get away with not doing the work, and we sacrifice something in the exchange when it comes to family, especially, and even our mental health and the time that we spend, self-correcting and getting ourselves kind of recalibrated before we go back out into the work. Are you able to kind of speak to that? Why that's a thing for you to make the call that you made?
I guess I need to clarify the question just a little bit.
Yeah, you explain a little further why you decided to prioritize family over your work in this season.
I haven't totally prioritized family. I prioritized what is actually doing things for my family. Does that make sense? I'm still committed to, we've talked before, and most of you guys are familiar. I have a blocked out time clock on my schedule every week for my daughters, right? Where it is just 4.5 to 5 hours, strictly their time, nothing else. I've had to move that a couple of nights. I haven't missed that yet. We've had to move it to a different night a couple times during this transition, but that's still been the priority. My wife and I have not been doing date night during this time period, partially for finances, partially because we're just not, we don't have the time right now. Like right before I came on for this show, I was over doing a double interview. But in the transition, I have tried to maintain that priority of time with my family, but I've also had to sideline things that aren't delivering for my family. Once upon a time, my main show was delivering financially for my family. It was monetized. I had a good following. I was making money off it. And so everything was going great. But it stopped delivering after I got deplatformed. Some of you guys know I got deplatformed and I haven't recovered from that yet. Back in 2024, I went from a top 1% show in the indie podcasting space to basically starting from scratch all over again after getting deplatformed. And I still haven't financially recovered from that, right? I had spent my whole life savings building that show. Everything we had ever done and was invested in that, and then just gone. And so since that wasn't
right.
delivering, I had to put everything on hold as I made this transition. It was like, okay, I've got to get money flowing the way it needs to flow again. And so I've had to put all my passion shows, and I say passion shows because they're not making me a living. So while I'm still very passionate about them, one of them I've totally scrapped. The Dad Hat Shannon's podcast is officially over.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's officially over. Because it just has never gained traction the way I intended it to. And therefore, it's a passion. I love doing it, but it's not a business. It's not making me money. And that was a hard lesson to learn, right? 6 years ago, I went out on my own. And that was one of my first mistakes, was trying to turn a passion and a mission into a business, not knowing that a business has to have something that's deliverable, right? Something people are actually paying for. If you don't have a product, some kind of product. And I tried to course correct for years and eventually got to coaching and some of the other stuff I was doing. But like, I started my business not knowing anything about business, like a lot of business owners do. And so everything's had to get put on hold since January as I focus on re-aiming my direction of my business and reprioritizing what we actually do as a business into something that has a product that is making us money, that's bringing in paychecks, stuff like that. So it's been a real reality check to go from I wasn't doing okay to I'm not doing okay to trying to get back on track of doing okay again with these big pivots. So,
wow. All right. Anybody else? Man, it's the longest pause in the history of this show. You guys,
I feel like we need cricket sound effects going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to have to work them out. I mean, you guys want to share something or not? What's the deal?
Come on, guys, don't leave me hanging after that.
All right. Just for
pour his
Brent's
heart
sake.
out, man. You got to say he just stared at him, man.
Just for Brent's sake, man. All right, just for Brent's sake.
Just for Brent, okay.
Just for Brent's sake, that's right.
That's classic. Okay, go ahead.
All right, yeah. Seriously, one of the things I've really enjoyed about this particular series has been hearing all the different perspectives on these things. I come at things from a very single-minded viewpoint very often, and I accept that. That's just who I am. That's maybe my age. That's my belief system and stuff. But to be able to hear from especially you guys, Brent and DL, on a lot of these issues and your perspectives. I think on this one especially, it really has had a little more impact on me. Normally, I hear other perspectives, and I'm like, hey, if that's what you think, cool. I disagree, but right on. And in this series, I was listening to both of you guys, especially, going, never thought about it that way. And I just want to give you guys kudos for that, because seriously, you guys both really brought it in this series. And if you make me consider maybe changing my mind on something, you got something good going on over there, because it takes a lot to get this old dog to consider a new trick. And so I want to just give you guys that. I appreciate Yusuf for bringing this up too, and putting this out there, because there's so much of this busyness thing. There were so many angles to it, as we talked about it over the last few weeks, that I just appreciated the different perspectives in the talk.
Yeah, I'll echo that. One really important thing that I've learned is just how many areas in my life I thought I was about some business, and it was literally just busyness, right? It might have a level of production to it, but it was, it's busyness. I especially liked, I think it was you, Brent, who broke down the definition, right? And was like, or might have been Rory, might have been both of you guys. But it was like, if it ain't making money, if it ain't adding value, right? Like, it's not business, and that one caught me, right? And to where I was sitting there the other day, and I was like, okay, some of these hobbies that I've got to monetize so they can be business. Like, I've got to. And I don't think that I would have come to that conclusion as quickly. I have no doubt that I eventually would have gotten to it, but as quickly, if it wasn't for, you guys here, others who have been here sharing their perspectives. But very specifically, that definition of business, I was like, well, I guess I'm not standing on business as much as I think I am.
And that might have been me and Brent both, man. I think
That's
me
why I
and
think
Brent
it was
both
both of you guys.
actually made that point at different times.
Yep.
So I appreciate that too, man. Yeah, 100%.
Oh, no question, man. No question. Love that. Well, we're going to close out this series talking about legacy, building something that outlives you. In all of the business, you know, and I've heard from a couple of people in the past 48 hours who are dealing with some stuff. I got some challenges that I shared in a closed group about my business, and if I actually have one at the current time, you know, and there's some real hard stuff that I had to just deal with that. Not with the sharing part, but just stuff leading up to it that I'm starting to understand and see about what's happening. Like, wow, is this going to happen or not? Is this a real thing? I got logos and price packages and outlines and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, this, but something's not connected here, you know. So it's like some real hard lessons. And when you get to that place where you got to start evaluating that, you better do it. Don't keep on trying to keep building. Stop, assess, because people who made the biggest mistakes in life, they built something knowing they probably shouldn't have built it, and then it was just a colossal disaster, money, lives in some cases lost, all because you decided to do something that you know you probably shouldn't have been doing. Maybe not period, but just in that season specifically, and you just kind of just push past that. And it just makes legacy a really, really larger question for me, at least. When you guys hear legacy, in the shortest terms you can give us, what does that mean to you now in this season that you're in? What does legacy mean now? I don't have any Jeopardy music, but you know, keep pretending it's there.
I'll jump
Pretend
on that
you
one.
can hear it.
I'll jump on
Go
that.
for it.
I think about legacy all the time because of my boys. And that's just a fact. I've been thinking about it forever. For a long time, I thought it was going to be a business I was going to build and pass on to them. And then they were going to, you know, work the business and grow it and turn it into something great, you know. What I realized a long time ago was that my legacy to them is actually them, you know, and it's what I can teach them and what I can, how I can influence them, but also influence other people through them. Okay. And so for me, legacy is, you know, what you're leaving behind in terms of who's going to remember you that you helped them, you know, at some point. I know my boys will actually say, hey, you know, my dad this, my dad that. They'll be quoting me. They'll be talking about me for years to come. My grandkids hopefully will be doing the same thing, and they'll be passing on stuff from my boys. And I hope they're saying it as if it's their own, you know, and, you know, quoting me, you know, about stuff. So I really think it's about who you impact and how, you know. I think for me, that's what that means.
I love it. Thank you, sir.
That's good. I'm gonna say something that that I don't know is probably not a very common response. Legacy means absolutely nothing to me. Let me tell you why.
Okay. All right.
Because I spent so many years worrying, being concerned with that after me thing, right? What you were talking about, Rory, like, how am I going to be remembered? Did I do something great, right? And I found myself so stressed out about it, right? And it's funny we're talking about legacy now. Over the course of maybe the last month, in reading scripture and praying and talking to folks, right? I come to this conclusion that the greatest legacy that I can leave on this earth in this life is Jesus, right? Is the life that I spent with Jesus. It's the walk that I've walked, not for anybody else's spectating, not for anybody else to follow behind, but just because I did it, just because I wanted to do it. I don't know. It's interesting. Do I care what people think? Absolutely. Do I want, you know, my children, whenever they and I are reconciled, to have a good and fond memory of me? Absolutely. But do I think that what I do in this life has such a profound impact on the next generation that let's say, let me rephrase. Do I think that I am so powerful apart from God, that what I do in this life has that big of an impact? No, right? Apart from God, I'm absolutely nothing, right? I can do nothing good. All good and perfect things come from him, right? And when we think about legacy, those things are good things, right? We want to leave good things behind. We want to make sure, right? Like in a perfect world, yes, I would leave the world behind for my children, even though they're not in my life right now, right? Because I love them that much. But do I believe that the God that has taken care of me this entire life is going to do the same for them? Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt. And so in that regard, legacy doesn't really mean anything to me. I think it's great.
Fair enough.
You know?
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. BD, you got something?
Yeah, I think legacy has more to do with knowledge for me at this point than anything else. Right.
Okay.
I want to. I've had ups and downs in business. Right. I've worked other jobs for other people. I'm 46. I've been working for 30 years now. I started when I was 16. I've had different jobs, different positions, different titles. They're all pretty much worthless to me. But what I think of in terms of legacy is not like my business outlasting me, because I know all about trying to build legacies that way and stuff like that. I think about, am I showing my children how to thrive in their lives in every way possible? Am I showing them how to thrive in their relationship with God? Am I showing them that they can thrive outside of the cookie cutter way that society tells them they have to do things, right? And that's one of the reasons I work so hard on trying to do my business the way I want to do it, right? I want my children to know that they don't have to go punch a clock for 40 years at a 9-to-5 job, because I didn't know that. Not because my dad would have taught me that, but because my dad didn't know any better. He was a minister. He was a minister for 40 years, and he did a great, you were talking about, you want your legacy to be about God, right? At his funeral, that's one of the things I talked about when I was giving the whatever you give at the funeral. Like I was the guy running
eulogy.
the funeral. Yeah, when I was doing the eulogy, that was one of the things we talked about. My dad didn't want a fancy funeral. My dad didn't want to be remembered. My dad wanted God to be remembered. That's what he wanted about his life, to be remembered. And that is what he dedicated his life to doing, which was amazing, right? It was an amazing example. But my dad didn't know anything about business other than he went to work when he wasn't a minister. He was in the military, then he went to work, and then he became a minister, right? I want to show my daughters that there's alternatives to punching the clock for not 9-to-5 for 40 years for a job you hate, or doing something you don't want to do, right? I didn't know there was 7 different kinds of income until I was 40 years old. I had no idea that there was any other way to make a living. Entrepreneurship, that was something other people did. That was not reality for me. And so for me, legacy is teaching my children that they can pursue life to their fullest, that they can thrive in their relationship with God, they can thrive in their families, they can thrive in the way they make a living, the way they choose to live their life, and the way that they are passionate about, and still get there, right? That there isn't this is the end all be all. You can be this rich. You have to do it this way. You have to have the $1 million mansion. Not that. I want them to see that they can love their life and thrive being focused on their family and doing things they love.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good, man. That's good.
That's good.
I want to put before you guys 4 options. And I want to ask you, and we're still having the business versus busyness conversation, still talking about legacy, leaving something that matters to the next generation. We're still talking about that. Just a question on deck for you guys. Which is the one that you struggle with the most, personally speaking? The doing part, the delegating part, the deferring part, or the deleting part, just not walking into that situation or that dream or that goal, whatever it is. Which is the one that you personally struggle with the most? I'm curious to hear your answers. It's gonna be pretty cool.
I'll take D, deleting. Like I'm a hoarder when it comes to ideas. One of my business coaches, one of the most valuable things he ever got through to my thick skull was to not fall in love with my logo. Right? I've gone through a dozen different logos and having 6 different podcasts, right? I've gone through so many different podcast art covers, right? And one of the most valuable things he managed to get through to me was, it doesn't matter if you like your podcast artwork or your logo. If your listeners don't, nobody gives a crap. It doesn't matter if you like it. And that was a hard lesson for me to, it's like, you know how hard I worked on that artwork? Like, I did that. That was me. And it's like, yeah, I think you could pay somebody to do that in like a fraction of the time, but you were in love with your image of this, right? And so I'm a hoarder when it comes to those ideas. I put it into it. I'm like, I don't want to let it go. It's like getting rid of the Dad Hat Shenanigans podcast. That was actually the first time it was easy for me to go, you know what? I actually launched this show because it was more niched, and I figured it would be more monetizable, more effectively, more quickly than my general show, which is not near as niche. And it just, I wasn't seeing the growth. Like on YouTube or in the podcast analytics, it just wasn't growing. All of my guests loved the show. Everybody who was on it raved about the show. But listeners, nope. And it was the first time it was ever easy for me to go, guess the show's done, right? Because it's not growing anywhere. And it was the first time I was able to go, yep, retire it. Because all of my life I build and it's like, but I love this idea. And I love this part of my show. And I love, right? And I just want to hoard on to that. So you know how long I did that, right? All those excuses. Deleting the stuff that's not actually moving the needle has been one of my biggest failings in business.
Wow. Wow. I'm going to go with D for deferring for 100 you. I am on both ends of deferring, brother. I'm on both ends of it, man. I have a problem postponing things. I have a problem putting something off for any period of time. Like, for whatever reason, I'm wired with urgency, right? So if there's something that needs doing, something that's even like a simple task, right? My wife could be like, hey, this needs cleaning. And I'm there to do it like immediately, right? And then she'll be like, I didn't need you to do it right now. Just sometimes I'm like, nope, it's got to be done, right? Or I do the exact opposite. And I defer to the point that it doesn't get done, right? I'm like, I'll do this later, and then I don't do it, right? I'm super extreme when it comes to that. I'm thinking about all 4 of the words, and I'm like, yeah, like doing, delegating, deleting. I've got issues with those, but deferring, I'm on 2 sides of the coin with that one, brother. Like, you're talking double jeopardy.
No. Appreciate the transparency, man. That's good. That's good to hear that, because that's a real thing. Rory, I don't know if you can top both of those, but you're probably going to do your best. Go for it.
Wow. I just think it's hilarious. We all have a different one. I think that's great. In Tim Tebow's first book, he talks about playing Little League Baseball, and an instance where the batter pops up a hit and he's playing shortstop, and he runs in front of the pitcher to catch the fly ball and get the batter out. Then instead of throwing it to the second baseman who's on second base, waiting for the guy to come back and tag up, he runs to second base and tags the guy out and gets the second out. Well, the runner on third is tagged up and is trying to go home. And instead of throwing it home, the coach is screaming, throw it to the catcher, throw it to the catcher. Tim Tebow runs home, tags the runner out, gets all 3 outs. Coach is like, why wouldn't you just throw it to the catcher? He goes, because he's going to drop it. That's my biggest problem right there. Delegating, brother. I don't ever trust anybody to do any of my stuff for me.
Wow.
I would rather work 24 hours a day and do it all myself, so that I know it's getting done right, because I trust no one to get it done. Delegating is my worst. I'm awful at it.
Gosh.
The catcher's going to drop it, brother.
He's going to drop it. He's going to drop it.
I'm not throwing it to him. Okay.
Wow. I don't. I'm just trying to think. Can I embody the last one so we can all have something different? What can I do here? Because for me, the bleeding, that's become a lot easy, as I just described with the business situation. I'm in communities where I've been propping this thing up, and it's like, now it's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything with it. So deleting is an easy one for me. The deferring thing, I don't know where I'm at with that. I heard one half of what DL said. I'm like, if the missus got something that needs to be done, if I could do it right then, I'm probably going to do it because I know I got other stuff up here in the office I got to get back to. So I'm going to probably go knock it out so I won't get too far behind and it becomes too far down the list for today and it ends up not getting done. So I'm probably going to do that really, really quickly. The delegating part, that's a rough one for me because I believe in it. I've been in management in the government, so delegation is like the language in that kind of arena. So I know how to do that. So I guess I'm following. I think we're going to have going 4 for 4 here. I think it's going to be the first one. And I think maybe, and you can answer this question afterwards, but maybe this is a seasonal thing for us. And it's not actually a thing that we deal with like always, perpetually, maybe seasonal. For me, I think this one is seasonal for me. Because I'm seeing some challenges in some areas, finance-wise, and some other ways. So everything that I'm doing, I'm kind of like doing what we talk about on this show so much. Since we started this show, I'm taking on all the weight that, you know what? I'm not saying that God can't do it. I know he can. I'm relying on him to come through in many different areas. But at the same time, I recognize that faith without works is dead. So I got to do something. You know, so that's why I got all the little things I got going on, but I feel the weight. So I guess I'm in the done category, guys. I feel like, you know what? I got to do this. It's not me trying to solve the problem or try to fix or erase years of bad decisions. I just feel like, you know what? It's in my hands. I got the opportunity. I have the connections, the know-how, the resources, and the physical health to go out here and do some of these things. Work some things out, do some barter, make some things happen. So I'm in the done category. So we're like 4 for 4, man. Everybody pick something different. That's pretty cool, man. But yeah, I feel like sometimes it's my weight to carry. So let's go back to my question I asked you before. Do you guys feel like how you answered? Is it seasonal or this is something that you've been dealing with for a long, like almost like your whole entire life? Is that the case? Or is it based on your situation that you're in right now? Can you identify that? You think you can tell?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's lifelong for me, man. I'm an all or nothing guy. So when I think about the way that I answered that, I'm like, that's literally all or nothing, right? Like I'm either giving it all of me right away, immediate attention, or it's getting nothing from me. You know, just an extreme person. It's been like that my whole life, though. I recognize the things that I do that for. Oftentimes are more the tedious things, like I said, like the pick up after yourself stuff, the cleanup, when it comes to major decisions or major activities or different things like that, it's usually all in. It's usually all in.
Okay, so it's not seasonal. This is
part of who DL is.
Copy that. Okay. Anybody else?
It's funny because it's situational for me. It's not a seasonal thing. It's a situational thing. The only thing I have this problem letting go of is business stuff. Like I am completely unsentimental about anything I have, anything I own, any place we go. I have no attachment to a location. I have a small collectible shelf of knickknacks that I've carried around that would fit in like a copier paper box that I have kept, and it's the only thing I'm emotional about at all. They're just memories for my lifetime. But we moved every 3 years my whole life, and so like I have no attachment to physical junk at all, and I really don't attach to people well because I'm used to having to get up and move. This is the first time I've been anywhere any length of my life, but the only place I have problems getting rid of stuff, like I'm the guy who like I'll send my wife away and go through our attic and throw away 80% of the stuff that's been stored there for years without ever consulting her, without opening a box or looking at it. I'm just like, we haven't opened this in 2 years. Out, gone. I don't care what it is, right? So yeah, this is the only place in my life where I have a hard time deleting things, but like I put my heart into everything I do business-wise. And it just feels like I'm letting something fail if I have to walk away from it. If it's like, no, this isn't serving, it's got to go, right? I feel like I'm just a failure.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
That is real.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. Well, mine's easy. It's forever. My catcher has been dropping that ball my whole life. I've never been able to count on somebody else to catch the ball. It's been since the day I was born, and I will die trying to bury myself because I won't trust anybody else to do it. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. I have no intention of solving this problem, but I do accept that it's a problem. So, got to give you a little vintage Rory, man. I will not delegate ever.
How can we help Rory tonight?
We got to teach him how to throw.
How can we help Rory tonight? Because that right there, I'm cool. The fact that you said I acknowledge this is the problem, that was like the saving grace, because I was getting ready to load up until I heard that part. I'm like, really? All right, so there's like
never gonna happen.
I get that none of us could you would let us do one of your shows for you. I get that. Even though when I was out of town, I offered to let you guys do the show for me, because I love and trust you guys like that. But that's just me though. But I know that's not okay. I get it. But so there's no scenario, Mike. Nobody can do anything that you do. There's not a chance. None of your sons can do something that you do. You wouldn't let them do it. None of them guys. Able-bodied young men. You wouldn't let them do anything that you do. Nothing.
Nope.
Not one task. I find that hard to believe, man. Parents tell their kids what to do. That's part of the job.
All right, listen, let me respond to this onslaught that I'm getting right now. I mean, these guys bare their souls, and they just walk away scot-free. I tell you the truth, and you come at me like a ton of bricks. All right, listen.
I am not. I'm asking a question.
All right, and let me answer your question there, big fella. All right, hold on a second. It's not that someone else can't. It's not that someone else can't. It's not that I'm better than everybody else.
That.
Okay. What it is that if I trust someone else to do it and they don't do it, that's my fault, because I should have done it myself. I'm the one who put them in the position to fail at it, and then I have to deal with the repercussions of the fact that it didn't get done. If I am doing it and I fail, then I have to live with that. But it's me that made the mistake. I can't do anything about that. I'm not perfect, so I don't do everything right. But when you hand it to somebody else and they don't do it right, then it's like, never should have gave it to them. Should have just done it myself, and you own it that way. If I can't get something done, I blame me, and I can live with that all day long, right? Give it to somebody else and they drop it, then it's like, hey, you know what? Never should have gave it to them. I would not want to put my sons especially in that position. So no, I don't delegate to them.
That's fair.
This stuff, you know what I mean? That's it. That's it.
It's funny because it's funny because there's a personality, there's some personality play in there, right? My background, I've always been a trainer. Like I was the trainer, the department trainer in my last job, and have been for years at most of the jobs I've ever had, right? I actually am in a place where I cannot wait to be financially in a place to where I can delegate the crap out of everything I do. I want to outgrow my business to where I am having everybody else do things, and I am sitting back and watching them grow and flourish in the business, outgrow me. I want it to outgrow me, like desperately. I cannot wait to get to a point financially where I can start delegating and having other people do this task and start building that team, so my business could just outgrow me way past where I'm just sitting back going, wow, I remember when I started that with a microphone by myself.
Much better way to do it, brother.
Yeah.
Much better way to do it, much healthier. And I agree with you 100%. And if I was giving you advice, I would tell the exact same thing. Dude, delegate, grow beyond yourself. I'm just being honest here because that's what this show's about.
And I get it because if I'm honest, I get down and I do the same thing though. Right. I start actually grinding, and I can't imagine letting somebody else actually do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Can you guys identify? Are you able to identify? I'm making a differentiation here, so track with me. Is there one good thing that you're currently doing that you think you need to stop doing so that you can focus on the great thing that you were called to do, or you feel a strong pull toward doing? Did that question make sense? Should I rephrase it? Did it make sense? Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
What do you think?
Man, I've been having a lot of conversations about this lately, right?
Uh-oh.
And
that's a good thing, I hope.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's just timing. So the good thing are, like my 9 to 5, right? Good work, right? I'm helping people that are homeless. I'm helping people that are in recovery and addiction, people coming home from incarceration. The great thing is beyond that, right? It's the prison ministry. It's the podcast and reaching people behind bars because it's distributed there, right? I haven't been doing a lot of those things because I've been doing the good things, right? Because the good thing is Monday through Friday, right? These people are in my face. I'm developing personal relationships with them. I'm walking through life with them, right? Good things. But in this, probably the last couple of months, man, I've in prayer, in conversation with people at my church, with random people, like God is making sure that the great thing is in my face. And I keep finding myself like, yeah, but I'm doing a good thing, God. But I'm doing a good thing, and it pays and it's paying me, and so there's this tension and this wrestling that I've been in lately, which is like, I don't want to drop the good thing. I don't. Gotcha. Right. Like I do want to be obedient to the great thing. Right. And so I have this tension and this wrestling with God lately where it's like, okay, God, is there a way that with an open hand, right, I can steward all of these things that you've placed there while walking into what you would have me walk into? Right. And with God, all things are possible. He has yet to answer me clearly on that. I think he's waiting for me to be willing to completely drop the good thing so that I can pursue the great thing totally. And then I have no doubt he will answer me. Just the willingness. I don't have to actually drop it. Just the willingness to be like, okay, it's yours, God, and I'm yours, right? I know he'll answer me, and I know he'll make a way where the desire of my heart, once I'm completely aligned right, that it'll work out. But definitely that. You felt like you were speaking to me when you asked that question. I was like, wait, hold on. Is my mom right now?
I was talking to all of y'all on this one for sure. It's an important question, man. We got to deal with this. This needs to be on our wall somewhere because it always comes back to this. Through every season that we go through, we accumulate ideas and plans and goals, and the great just seem to kind of because it's probably so much harder and there's so much more runway for that, so we kind of just put it to the side and do that easy good thing that makes us feel useful. So I think it's a valid question, but go ahead, guys, you can get the chance to jump in. What do you think about that question? Is there you guys passing the hot potato? All right.
Yeah, no, he's signaling so we can come in and bump it later. We'll say Rory, he'll come in and crush this in a minute. Now this is like I said, this is the season I'm in, right? This goes back to the deleting question, right? And what I said at the beginning. For the people who are watching this as opposed to listening to it, you can see the red hat in the background. That's from the Dad Hat Shenanigans podcast, right? I loved doing that show. I enjoyed doing that show. The guest I had on enjoyed being on the show, right? You were on the show, right? We had a lot of fun on that show, and it was a good show.
Absolutely,
we were having real conversations that dads need to have, right? It was just a bare all conversations for dads at every point. We were talking about some of the fun stuff. We were talking about some of the ugly truths about it, right? Conversations that need had. And it was a good show. Was it growing? No. But it was a good show. And it was a good thing, and it was a lot of fun, and I had to let that go, right? Because it was good, but it wasn't great. And it was taking time. It was taking attention. It was taking focus. And it wasn't it was just one more thing that was taking up time. It was busyness doing something good, right? And I'm still in that season. I'm still looking at my other shows. All my other shows are openly on the chopping block, except my newest one. I'm still deciding. I'm still weighing those. Are those good things that I'm still doing? I almost bagged my show after I got deplatformed. I almost bagged my show back in 2024 because nothing will crush your soul like going from, thousands and thousands of downloads a month to nothing and starting from scratch again after you've put your entire life savings into something.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. And it shows you the problem when you build something on somebody else's platform too, right? I hadn't done the smart thing and built back to my own platform. But I'm still weighing that, right? I had friends talk me out of canceling that show entirely and just walking away from podcasting forever because I was just soul crushed. But I'm still weighing it. It's like, okay, we've been doing this now. We're past that a year and a half. But I'm on a positive track right now with my business and the way it's going. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. It's starting to make money. It's not making enough money yet, but we're getting there, right? We're moving in a very positive direction. And I'm enjoying it. And I'm looking at these other shows like, okay, well, I just started my show back up after a 2-month break. And there are a lot of people who are going, no, we listen for your show. We want your show. This is a good thing. It helps our lives, right? And I've had that feedback.
Wow, awesome.
It's the only reason it's still going. But I'm having to weigh is like, is it a good thing that's getting in the way of a great thing, right? That's the season I'm in right now with all of my other shows. It's like, it's not necessarily adding to my pocketbook. So am I keeping it alive because I'm holding on too tight and don't want to delete it? Or is it I'm holding it because I see it's a good thing? And a good thing is a good thing. But I'm also having to ask the question now, is it keeping me from a great thing? Is it dividing me too much? So that's really the season I'm in right now.
Wow, that's powerful, man. That's powerful. Warrior, battle cleanup.
Yeah, that was both you guys, man. That was awesome. I'm in that season too. At this point, I've had to make some of the same decisions you guys have had to make. I used to have 10 podcasts. 2 of them I did with a co-host who was absolutely wonderful. And, one I was doing on my own. And I had to look at things because of some opportunities that have come up for great things. And I had to say, hey, I have to take that time away from somewhere. You can't just create time in our lives. We have to take it somewhere. And I said, look, I have 3 podcasts that are not monetized, that are not making any money. I can't give my time to them, no matter how much I like them or what hope I have for them. And I had to say, look, these are hobbies. The other 7 are a business. I got to stop them so I have time for pursuing the much bigger, much greater things. And one of those was getting back into public speaking, and I've had an opportunity to, a company offered me a position doing that for all their sales guys. And I went, okay, can't say no to this.
Congrats.
So
Congrats, brother.
You take that, but you go, where's that time coming from? And unless I plan on getting divorced from the most incredible woman on the planet, it's got to come from somewhere else. So it was, scale back some of the businesses. 2 of my podcasts that I have right now, I have 7 currently. 2 of my podcasts that I have right now are in the, hey, you better put up or shut up, mode. If they don't produce what I know they can do, then I'll be shutting those down too and going with 5 podcasts because I have 5 that are monetized well. And I have 2 that are on their way, but they're not there yet. And so I had to put time limits on them. Like Brent, I know you probably were sitting there for a while agonizing over that going, I know what I need to do, but man, I just can't. And finally you go, I gotta. I'm in that spot right now. It's close, if they can produce great, but if they don't, then you got to get into that delete, right? And you got to go, look, they're gone. I guess I'll have 5 podcasts because the great, the thing that's much bigger is right in front of you. And you just have to.
Yeah, man, I can think of so many good things. I probably already named one when we started the show, because for me, I've been coaching I'm in year 30 right now. I'm still technically doing it, even though it's not it's not going according to the plans and adjustments I tried to make to get it to the place where it was able to fund some things. But outside of 3.5 years, all the rest of that coaching, all those years, 26.5 years has been free coaching. So for me, I'm like, I don't mind helping people. I think my heart shows that I care about helping people. I think that's why we do the shows that we do. In my assessment, unless I'm deluding myself, I think that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, investing the time I'm investing. But man, it right now it qualifies as a good thing, and that's rough to hear, man. Because like Brent said, man, that logo's fire. I'm not married to it, but the logo is nice, man. When you see it, you know what's coming. I think it's real nice. But I think that the place where I put myself and I put that product, good situations, but man, it's good. That's the best way to qualify. I can't even say it's in the great department. It's good. Yeah. When I log off and I'm doing during the week, the ministry work that I'm doing, that's great. People are overcoming drug addiction and they're getting free from sex trafficking and their lives are being changed. That's great work. And I can't even take credit for that one. I can't even monetize that. It's just great work that I happen to be a humble servant and a part of. That's great. But the good, man, the things I was doing, like I think you guys heard the story. I started in 2020. I was doing a flagship show. They called me Mr. U. And then on top of that, I was doing like I don't know how many sports shows I was doing. My Twitter network is still in the 23,000s of people. I built that all on sports. So I was doing sports 7 days a week along with my flagship show, the first show. That was all good. I was meeting people, talking about sports, and I enjoyed analyzing sports psychology, fun stuff. But guess what it was? It was just good. It wasn't great. It was good. I let that stuff go, man. I found out how much time I was wasting, how much time and focus was not where it needed to be. So I'm with you guys, man. I'm feeling all of this stuff, man. This is some humbling stuff to talk about. It's really like, wow. Hate to end the show on a sour note. It's like, man, it's a gut punch, man, when you spend all your time with the good and the great. You sit here and like, any day now, I'm still here in the bureau drawer. Whatever you want to pay me some attention, I'm ready to roll with you, but you got your eyes on good. I mean, you seen that analogy played out on entertainment, on television shows. The girl that's the hottest looking one, she just good. She ain't great. She's shallow as all get out. She ain't gonna do nothing for you long term. It's just a temporary fix right there. She's the good one, but the great one is your best friend forever, watching you fawn after this girl that ain't even worth your time. Did that analogy hit for y'all? Did y'all feel like I felt it? Did it hit you in the feels? You definitely hit in the feels, man. Yeah, that's the good to great analogy. You guys can use that.
She's a good girl, you.
That was like the most dude analogy ever on this show.
He just mansplained it.
Right?
I really did not know where you were going with that, brother. I'm just letting you know. I'm glad you went where you went, because I was sort of like, what? Where are we going with the show today?
You guys be able to trust me by now. You know I'm always going somewhere that makes some sense. You trust me, man. It's all good.
I totally concur with Brent's assessment. Most dude comment ever on this show. Perfect.
Dude.
Perfect.
Dude. That's how we bring this show. Everybody say dude. That's funny, man. But guys, thank you for making this series go. It's been It's been something. I have no idea where we're going next week. I'm just transparent about it. Taking some suggestions. The 5 love languages has been offered as an option.
Pass.
Yeah, hard pass.
I don't want to do that. Like I said, the things that the languages talk about, that's important to all of us. So I get that, but I don't want to get into the part things has been demushified about the book and what's in it. I don't want to be a part of that. But that's just me though. So put your thinking caps on. Let me know what you're thinking about next week. I got topics in mind, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts too, because you guys are relevant to this show and want to hear your thoughts as well. But for those of you guys that are watching and listening, thanks again for making us part of your weekend and joining us on this journey of business and busyness. It's been a ride. We have learned so much about each other and about ourselves. It's been really, really fun, man. But thanks again for watching us. Follow these guys on social media platforms, wherever you find them. Their names are right here. If you're listening, you're going to have to probably find a video somewhere to find out who I'm talking about. But check these guys out. They got some awesome content on social media, and they're doing great work in their local community, man. So be a part of that. Support them. Give them a shout out. We all need encouragement sometimes, right? Thanks again for watching the Men's Roundtable Series podcast. I'm Mr. U. That's Brent, GL, Rory. We're out of here. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching and listening.